So, public. Happy days. Happy days. It actually went better than I expected. Or smoother. I thought that I would be much more hesitant than I was. But it took a week as I predicted. I think I was a bit over the 1 or 2 days, but that's okay. We're all about breaking deadlines, right? As long as you're honest about it, why it happened to yourself, is actually can be a good exercise. It can also be a bad one, but you decide that. And the most beautiful thing is that this is how you to be your own boss, right? Because you only answer it to yourself. Nobody's gonna come and ask you why haven't you published it. No one. So if you have, good on you. Good on you, because I mean that's you took the step. That's it. Now this is you're running it. You're running your own business. That feels pretty good, right? So I'm surprised you clicked this link first of all, because it's a boring title, and it's not the top 10 list. It's not. It doesn't got a flashy image. It's a boring title again. Data analysis. Wow. But you're here nonetheless. Good for you, because this is a really, really important step. Because data will tell you everything. Data is the most important thing you can ever extract from your business. That will make your business grow effective immediately. Well, not really, but almost. You get the point. Like it doesn't take much for you to see where I'm going to go with this. So that's where I am now. Data analysis, and it will be difficult in the beginning to get some real customer data, but we're gonna go through it all today, which is great, because this is a bit of a personal exercise as well. So I mean, everybody wins, which is just great. So without further ado, I would like to talk about going in with personal investment into, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about, you know, the feeling of you, that you bleed your heart and soul into your store, and that's great that you're passionate, but you need to leave that emotion outside the door. Really, don't let that in. Don't ever let your personal opinion or personal judgment affect how you run a business, because it's a business. It's about making profit, right? That's all it is. So I know it's essentially hard when you think that you have found a product that you believe is going to sell and make you a millionaire, and then it turns out that it sold maybe 2. So it didn't make any millions. It made you a couple of dollars, but it didn't even cover the advertisement cost. So what are you going to do? Well, you're into a bit of a crossroads, because either you just stubborn, refuse to see anything, and just like, yeah, I'm going to drive this, I'm going to make it work. That's one way. You might make it work further down the line, but you might, with the bigger possibility, you probably won't. And it's just harsh reality. Or at the other side of the crossroad is just ditching that product and get on with your life, right? And this is what really infuriates me with some of the e-commerce Shopify videos here on YouTube, where we all are. And they say, sell this selfie stick and make $1,000 a day. That's so much bullshit, and I hate that, because it just false advertisements straight through, because you don't know that. You don't have their customer list. You don't have that customer base. You don't have anything. All you know is that they made $1,000. Like they sold 1,000 of these products. Like, oh yeah, good for them, right? But you can't copy that. Don't try to copy that. You can see like what sort of method they do, but don't try to copy their product, because that's not going to work. They've already done it. Don't. Just when you see that shit, you click on like an escape or whatever you do, and just close the window. Oh man, it's so bad. Sorry, it's just a rant of mine, because it just really infuriates me that they have these clickbait articles and videos for that matter that sort of probably gets them some sort of ad revenue on their YouTube videos, and it's just frustrating to see. And they have like, oh, these products, these 5 tips, and it's like they just show you their sale figures. Oh, great, what am I going to do with that? Nothing. This is what it is. If you're in it for the long run, you need to do the hard work. There's no way around it. If you don't want that, then you should probably close this window now. Stop listening to me ranting. But the first step on the way is analyzing your data and essentially utilizing the money you put into your business, and most of all, advertisement, right? All right, clean slate. Let's do this. So I'll put up a few Excel spreadsheets. The first one is what I called the product catalog tracker. So here is where all your products should go. It has a few columns, and if you open it, don't get discouraged. I mean, it looks like a lot of different things, and that doesn't tell you much, but when you start to get it under control, you will see how beautiful it runs. And it's very simple. You can tweak this any way you want. This is more of a foundation for you to fit into your business, because essentially I did it to fit mostly mine, but also say the general or the majority of the Shopify stores. So you have a link. We go through the columns. It's a links, and that's essentially the link to your product. You place there from AliExpress or Alibaba or wherever you get your products from, right? Just to, it's not your Shopify store. It's to the actual item, wherever it is in the world. And this is to keep in control of it, because remember, it's they that have the inventory of that item, not you. So if that goes out of stock, if the price increases or decreases, your store won't get affected if you don't change it. So you need to check this regularly to see if there's any updates, right? Okay, so you have that link. You paste the link to the item. Then you go into the product cost. Now this is what it will cost you to purchase that item for the customer. So say it's $2. Then you have the next column, that's shipping. So I offer free shipping for all my products. That's to drive sales further, which you can do if you want, or you don't have to. If you don't, then the next step will be, you need to tweak it. But because the next column in that is the landed cost, or essentially how much it will cost you when you sell it to a customer. So that's the product cost and essentially the shipping cost for me and for you if you do that too. The profit of this will be the sales price of the item. You're selling this for $10. The item was $2, shipping was $4, so that's $6. So your profit will be $4 if the sale price is $10. So you have the column sales. You put 10 into there, and then it will calculate. I think can't remember the calculation. So then you will anyway put in the profit. Yeah, it should calculate that. Right, so you have that, and that of course always needs to be positive, right? If you have a product that's costing $6 and you sell it for $5, I mean, you're losing. But I'm sure you're not that stupid. You get that, right? I mean, you came this far. I trust in you. Okay, so here we are then. What can you do with this? Well, essentially you have a clear overview of your product list, and the real beauty comes in the next column, that's profit margin. That's essentially the sales price divided by the profit you make. I'm trying to make that about 50%. That's where I feel comfortable that it can generate enough profit to keep the boat running, or afloat, if you will. Because even though, like, if you make 50 cents profit out of a product, that's great, but it's very hard. You need to have a lot of sales to make actual revenue to cover the cost. Because I mean, if you make a sales and a profit, that's great, but you still need to cover your initial cost. Like say the Shopify subscription, that's $29, and if you make 50 cents, well, you need to make a lot of purchases for that to happen. So I'm trying to make it about 50% of revenue, but some will be lower and some will be higher, and you need to, that's your own measuring stick, right? You make that choice, and you make an active choice. With some of my products, for example, they have a landed cost of about $40, but I can sell it for 60, so that means it's $20 profit, which, I mean, if you do that, that's great. Then one sale can cover 15 sales of the smaller profitable products. But again, that's up to you. So we're going in here with no emotion, and as I spoke to before, it's about the profit. So if something doesn't sell, there's no reason that you should keep that product, and that's a harsh reality. And just that's unfortunately how it is. And this is where it's hard for a shop owner, especially if it's, your own product. Unfortunately, you don't really apply it to my videos. I'm sorry, but this is dropshipping where we don't keep inventory. If you watch this to get some tips, by all means, keep on. But unfortunately, it's harder for you if you make your own products to change them. But for us that don't keep inventory, and not to worry about that cost or the research and development that went into the product, we don't need to worry about that, right? So we can just change. But if you think you have the product and that will sell and it doesn't, I promise you it will be hard to delete that. So you need to go in with a mindset from the beginning to say, all right, I'm in here for the profit. I'm in here to run a business, and then cut the product if it doesn't work. And that is why I have the column start sale date, or when you start selling the product. And you should run this list probably every month. That's a good, and give you a good idea. And a column number of sales. For everything that doesn't sell well, again, that's up to you and how you benchmark, right? But if something hasn't sold, like it's 0, well, should it really be on that list? Should it be in your product catalog? Because essentially, your customer had 1 month to place a product in the cart and press checkout. If that didn't happen, well, why is it there? If it doesn't sell, it takes space, it takes distractions from products that you know sells. You want to generate a sale as quickly as possible. You don't want to deter customers from doing an extra scroll, giving them an extra reason to press escape or go into another tab, or just close the sale, or just forget about your shop. You want to make them go, I want that, boom, that's it. That's all it is. So by having hundreds of thousands of products, I'm exaggerating, will obviously deter them. Like, it will take longer. Why would customers keep browsing your website? I mean, if that's not interesting, if they don't purchase anything, you don't want them there. It's going to mess up your analytics models anyway on Facebook or Google or whatever you do. Right. So measure that. Measure that straight away. You set this up, you set the product tracker up, and you start looking at what sells and what doesn't. And by the end of the month, you cut those products away. Because They're just going to be in the way. Alright. That wasn't hard, was it? Analytics 101. Looking at the product list. I actually see here now that this video was a bit longer than expected, so I need to split it, which is great because I can make another video and talk about the other Excel list that I have set up, and that is of course where the all ones, the advertisement tracking, where we need to put all, well, say 90% of our undivided focus, because that is where your money will end up. And if you don't get anything back, then why the hell are you running it? So until next time, be well and analyze that data.